HB5. Got a lot of progress done this week. Did a few tests with welding and ended up with this. Not finished drilling it yet, but it's very, very strong. I've got TIG welds with great penetration throughout the channels. And how this works is you can get any standard arrow from a Walmart or something. This one happens to be carbon fiber with Canadian maple leaves on it, I would say. And what we do is we put that in, but we're going to actually cut these to the lengths that we want for our arm lengths. 9.5 inches is about 450 size. 10 to 11 inches is about a 550 size in millimeters. So it takes about 3 arrows to make your arms. And we put this Viton rubber here on each arm. And my prototypical cover is a Lexan cover, showing where it positions. Now, I'll probably use a thinner aluminum plate, which will be a little bit heavier than this, but not too much heavier. And basically, have my holes lined up like this, so that we have 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here. So we have a total of 4 bolts, and that will compress our Viton rubber onto the arrow shaft. And it's almost, I couldn't pull it out when I clamped it, so the rubber compression is about 1/32 to 1/16. For our arms, we are using 2 channels to receive the arrow shaft with a top compression plate for our motor mount. So we have to weld this, of course, but this will be welded onto our 2 channels here, and then there will be a clamp onto your arrow shafts to avoid twisting or anything like that. Now, with that, we're going to weigh it. In grams. We'll start with our base. We're not going to weigh the arrow because the arrow shafts are negligible, but this arrow has metal on it still, so we're not going to do that. 95 for your main body, which is universal. It'll be used for almost wood or any fiberglass or carbon fiber arrows. So that's your main structure right there, and the strength is pretty intense. I think you'd be breaking arms before you'd ever dent or distort these channels, because I used 1 channel before and there was a bit of play with the rubber hose around the arrow shaft, and now this is a direct fit, machine fit for the arrows. So with the rubber, it will not wiggle back and forth at all. You won't have to be tightening screws to keep them tight. Just your 4 bolts here to hold that plate compressed. And your top plate will automatically be insulated by rubber, of course. So the motors are all on the lower plate with the rubber and the substantial amount of structure. Let's put on the rest of it. We had 95, so it's 95 to 100 there. We're going to put on all of our motor mounts, but first we're going to put on our plate. Probably finish this Monday. I only have 2 pieces of rubber, but so we have a 255 gram frame structure, which the carbon fiber arrows will be built upon, and that's pretty light considering what's out there. And I think that we'll be able to keep it under 1400 with the battery on it, and with a larger battery under 1500 for sure. But we'll also have this indestructible and well-aligned subframe which will act as a frame that we can use over and over again, and change arm lengths just by buying new arrows. And arrows come up to 30 inches, so with dual arms it's quite strong, and you could probably go to about 15 or 600 or a 700 millimeter frame with this. So that's the HB5 progress. Might be a kit, I'm not sure yet, but aiming for affordability, and also the fact that there's 4 bolts here means that you can remove this top plate just with 4 bolts, and your arms will come out quite smoothly with all electronics attached and be able to fit into a backpack. So it's the Pack Quad.